Check. Test, test. Okay, what's up? For some reason, OBS was just like, you know what we should try doing right now? We should change to a different microphone. That'd be so sick. And what that means is no microphone at all. So I fixed it. I'm really quite smart, and so I was able to fix it using my genius. So last time I streamed some game dev, you may recall that I built this freaking fantastic teleporter shrine for the underworld, and I built that in part so that I could get to work on adding them to levels. So all the tile sets are going to get an overhaul to their level design, just like the mines and swamps did. And underworld is my next priority because it's a great tile set that most players never get to see. So I'm overhauling the underworld, and part of that is that I require that hot new teleporter to make those levels more better. So I have already started a bit. I'm on underworld level 5, just to kind of go through them. I think you guys saw this one where this is the starting room. I've taken all the lights out of it, so it's very spooky when you first enter. The only light is coming from the escape portal, and there's a sign that says, "Escape ye mortals before you die," before, souls, eternal souls cannot escape this place. This is where the teleporter goes. Here's where I bait you with the chest that spawns in every start room, except for now it's next to the only torch, so enemies will certainly see you if you expose yourself over there. So that's just a recap of what we did on stream. This is an island that has sort of an organic shape to it. So if you can imagine this island, stamped over here, that's what that looks like. And all of these are going to have a portal on them, and unless they're like so small, or if there's no walking space, that it means that the exit can't spawn on it. If the island is big enough for the exit to spawn there, then I have to have a teleporter on that island. So that's going to be part of my criteria for what each of these levels needs. Imagine the shrine making you fall to your death and Herc's laughing his greedy posterior off. Yes, luckily that will not happen. The teleport spell is designed not to place you over pits. But it is fun to imagine, I suppose. So this was the original level design, except for I've added the teleporter. This is more of a closed room situation. So you spawn inside this room and then you pull the lever to get out, or you can just use the teleporter to escape again. Go to the next room. These are bridges, because those are just decor meshes over invisible flooring. So that's what creates the illusion of bridges in the game. So yeah, I've split this island into multiple tiny islands. This is sort of like a fountain island with a lot of the space. Ghoul room, more like free XP room. Well, yeah, there's a lot of ghoul rooms in the underworld already. And then this one is sort of like a multi-room interior dungeon room, because you don't get a lot of that in the underworld, and I would like to see some more of it. I'd like the underworld to feel more like a place that offers like a little more exploration within rooms, because I think it's lacking that right now. So I don't want to go through all the levels that I've made already. This was another small island, got a bunch of variants. This was actually just a pillar to begin with, and so my variants of this one actually have a few that you can land on. And then this was the little island that has a waterfall on it, so all of the variants of that one have some kind of water source, but most of them are not covered in as much water as the default version, so I think it'll be a more interesting room thanks to the variants. And then finally we have what we loaded in the stream with, which was the floating pillars. So this is not a space that you can land on, so it doesn't need a teleporter, but that doesn't mean that its variants cannot be such a space, which require a teleporter. So, if you've watched me do level design before, you'll know that the variants come together pretty quickly. The simpler the idea is, the faster the level comes together. And I think I'm going to save the more complicated ideas I have for the bigger islands for obvious reasons. So you might see me burning through a lot of levels really quick. Excuse me. Alright. Let's just jump into it. Like every YouTuber ever. I'll save as B. Alright, I'm gonna go off mic so I can listen to some, I feel like I'm out of frame more than usual. Last video I didn't really correct it either. Yeah, that's better. Maybe point down a little? Yeah, alright. Floating, I mean, what I mean by floating is that there's no ground. There's no ground that you can approach them. But you're right, they're not technically floating pillars. But when you're floating, then you can go to them. Alright. Okay, so this room, you know, very simply, I replaced the center with walkable space, and that's it. So now enemies may randomly spawn here. I think enemies are more likely to spawn on islands in the underworld than, and you might say inside rooms in the underworld, compared to other tile sets, because they literally can't spawn in the void, and so, you know, it'll bear some testing, but I think what's going to happen is that these blank little islands, when you get there, it's fairly likely that you're going to encounter, you know, a ghoul or a skeleton here. I think that shadows and imps can spawn in the void. I'm not 100% sure if the rule set checks for that. Actually, I really like how this, like, these, like, little purple vine pod things, like, I'm not really sure what was inspiring me when I made them, but I really like how they look on these pillars. It makes them look really, like, decayed and crusty, like it's creeping down the surface of them. So I'll just put those there. Very small space to fight an imp. Well, that's the thing, like, so we'll see how it goes. You know, if you got good stealth skill and you teleport onto an island like this, and you're not holding a light source, there's a good chance that you'll show up and you'll have time to see enemies before they see you. But flight, like levitation, will still be a big advantage here. For me, yeah, imp and shadow are what kill me when I come here on level 6. Okay, so this is 05B. Let's take this one to the next level, literally. Save as C. And we're was just going to go ahead and enclose the whole space and get rid of the whole pillars idea altogether for this variant. Actually, before I do this, one of the rules I'm trying to follow, I did a pass on these last night after I'd already put together several rooms. I'd like to have a rule where wherever there's a teleporter, the ceiling near that teleporter is higher, so that you know, the player has a chance to have their attention drawn to these things from afar. I want it, you know, like the only time you see a high ceiling in the underworld is when there's a teleporter. It's kind of what I want, the idea that I want to test out here. You remember once a shadow killed you, tried to attack your dummy bot, and blew up on your traps. It got me an achievement. Take me with me. That's so cool. No, I didn't remember that. That's awesome. Was that on one of my older streams? Because I feel like I got that achievement a million years ago, but maybe I didn't. Save as B. That was one of my Savage Mechanist attempts. You should know. You watched the heck out of your treasure. Oh, you really enjoyed that run? Well, thank you. Maybe I should go watch it one of these days. I mean, it is a very long run, but boy, I enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun with that run. Still remember how I got transported into a failsafe zone in Hamlet. Something was up the moment the intermission music played instead of Sally Forth. That's really funny. No, I definitely do remember that because I had recently revised Hamlet and I changed the name of the map, like this name right here where it says Underworld Pillars Variant C. I had changed the name of the map to Hamlet from Magician's Guild. Previously the map was called Magician's Guild because when I first started working on that map, I hadn't really conceptualized that it was going to be like a district of Hamlet. I just thought, the player had traveled off to, wherever the Magician's Guild is, which may be outside of Hamlet, is kind of how I was, that's kind of the story I was going with when I first started working on it. But then once I decided that the level around the Magician's Guild should be filled with shops as like a nice space in between Hercs and the rest of the game, I was like, well, what place is going to have like a bunch of shops like this unless it's, Hamlet? And, looking back, it's kind of weird for the story. Like, all these people come out of the dungeons after like 100 years, or however long it's been, and just go into random buildings and like set up shop instantly. Like, it's a little goofy from a narrative perspective, but I don't know. It keeps all of the story centered around Hamlet instead of inventing a new location. So I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I feel like maybe it could be better, but I'm not disappointed with what we got. Okay, so I made this into 2 rooms. I mean, which feels like the right call. I kind of want to put this here. And so if you're levitating and you have the spell of open, you can get in here. And then we'll have like a lever here and here that will allow you to open this gate. And then because it's all trapped in here, we can put a monster here and a treasure chest. Something like that. So you appear in this room. Yeah, there's a monster and a treasure chest. If you come from outside the room, you can see through the gate here to see that there's a treasure chest on the other side of the room. These are all like level design considerations that just come very naturally to me to think about. Like, okay, you know, if there's treasure in this room and it's totally walled in, how does a player know they want to get in? Well, if they're levitating, they see that there's a treasure chest. So to help that treasure chest be a little more obvious, also, we're going to put a torch on this wall. Actually, I kind of like better a torch on this wall so that if you appear here and you look in there, then what you see is, you don't see the light source, but you do see light. Okay, so that's room C. And then I was at a failsafe zone. A moment happened that melted your heart. I don't remember. I'm sure it wouldn't offend me. You know, if you keep thinking I'm easily offended, it might hurt my feelings. That is a fun sentence to say. I'm not easily offended. That hurts my feelings. Anyway. You've changed some of the TV trope stuff about Barony and now has more quotes and crafted voice actors and credited voice actors in the character section. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I was impressed with TV tropes. Like, it has a lot of great info in there that's like kind of in some ways like put together as good or better than what am I trying to say? The like the wiki? Like, not to throw the wiki under the bus or anything. The wiki's fine. It has some errors, and we know that, and that's okay. But like, just the amount of information that's in the TV tropes for Barony is pretty cool. It's better than I would have expected, considering I wouldn't have expected somebody to take the time to add us to TV tropes at all. So that's really awesome. What's good nightmare fuel in Barony? Unnatural darkness levels? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so this room that you appeared in this sort of like sheltered area. So you can get assaulted from flying enemies from this end. And then there's like a waterfall here. I mean, that might be enough. I could stick a fountain here. Just because who doesn't like a fountain? Or I could just leave it. I could just leave it as it is. I'll put a campfire. I haven't actually used a campfire yet. In the underworld. Let's put it like off to the side here, right by the water. I'm gonna put some items here, actually. Again, really simple rooms, come together really fast. Goal is to add variety. This is facing west. Okay, that's what we want. Save as D. Okay. And then E, in theory, is the last variant we need for this. Who doesn't like a fountain, he says, as it poisons him or summons a lusty smurfette. Yeah, Barony is... some of our reviews talk about the game has, like, jump scares and stuff, which is really funny, because it's really just, like, yeah, the random dungeon generator being itself. You know? It creates unpredictable situations, which is, like, the whole point. And sometimes that can be surprising in a scary way. Okay, let's do east. Okay. There's really nothing to this this level here. It's very simple. You got jump scared by trolls of all things. Grayskins be sneaky. Yeah, they're so quiet, especially if they're not moving. Do I want anything else in this room? I mean, I could maybe put a pillar here and here, so there's something to do combat around if you're dancing with an imp or a shadow or something. Like, even just a little collision can turn an empty space into an interesting combat space. And it's kind of important to keep those little things in mind as you're designing a level. Also, putting this pillar here means that if the player spawns right here from this teleporter, it means they're a little bit more guarded from being ambushed, which is important to me. Shadow stealing your identity when you die is a scary thought. Yeah, that's true. It just goes on without you. Rejoins your party. Hey guys, it's me. Great. Patron tweeted us with his comics. That's nice. Thanks, Patron. Not that Patron is watching, but that's okay. Okay, so... Oh, wait, we need to give the high ceiling. Do something like this. I really like this motif of having the high ceiling right by the teleporter. I think it's gonna work out. I haven't, really gotten a chance to test it yet, but I'm really optimistic about it. All right, moving on to Underworld 6. Open. Oh, this is like the same format. Okay, except for this is an inaccessible room with treasure in it. They also asked to tweet my dub. Did you like it? Yeah. I think it's a perfectly competent dub. It totally it does a great job summarizing the contents of the. Or I should say, it's like an animatic. And I may mention before that I'm a trained animator. And so, like, forgive me for talking about animatics. But animatics are really cool. And a comic strip that you dub like that is basically the same thing as an animatic. It's just like one more step and you could turn it into a cartoon if you wanted to. And I really like animatics. Like, honestly, I kind of wish that animatics as a finished product were a more viable... What am I trying to say? Oh, hold on a second. 30-minute call. Okay, hold on. But yeah, I was saying that I think animatics could serve as a perfectly viable medium for storytelling, as a much cheaper form of animated storytelling compared to making full-fledged cartoons with the illusion of motion. Like, comic books are cool and all, but they lack pacing because you're not in the author's not in control of how long the viewer stays on a single frame. And so, anyway, I just think there's no reason why that kind of form of entertainment can't exist. And that's basically what you put together. It's cool. I like it. 6A, save. Okay, so we're just gonna replicate the interior of this. There's no teleporter in this one because, of course, there's not. It's inaccessible. Where's that gray rock texture? There it is. Okay, I'm happy with this little level. Open island with like a distinct shape that makes navigation a little bit more complicated, which is great. To some large degree, I think level design is a lot about setting up where the player can and can't go, as it influences all sorts of things. Maybe more in Barony than other games, because the relationship between the relationship between like where you can move and where you can't is very binary in a lot of ways. Since there's no jumping or wall running or stuff like that. What's up, Grotesque Mannequin? How's it going? I'm designing rooms. Alright, so we got a simple little room set up here. One of the features that I'm kind of hoping for with the teleport shrine is that when you arrive at the teleport shrine, I'm hoping that I'll be able to offset where the player's location is. And so like I might be able to put the player here instead of inside this room. And that way, if the player wants to teleport out of here, what they got to do is go around the corner, kill the monster, pull the lever, open the gate, and then they'll have another teleporter to go into. But for now, if I don't get that feature, then the player will arrive inside this small room. They'll be able to pull the lever to get out, fight the monster, get the treasure, and then come back in here to teleport away. So there's still like a reason to explore the room if indeed I can't offset the player. Okay, cheers, Inc. It was good sticking around. Don't apologize for leaving. I told you not to come anyway. You gotta get some rest, dude. Don't ruin your sleep schedule. It's important. Like to have you here, but yeah, that's the only reason I would tell you not to come is for your own health. For your own health. For your health, Dr. Steve Brule. Okay, so this is map D. Save as D. Ink said to me in Discord, I do what I want with my sleep schedule. You ain't my dad. That's true, I'm not your dad. Alright, we have finished the Underworld 06 variants, and now we're on to Underworld 07. What is the base level? It's just a freaking pool. A nice little afterlife pool house. Pool house rock. Given the shape of this thing, I think I can get away with doing a 5x7 to replace the entire interior, but keep the sort of like parentheses shape here. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the parentheses are what inspired Sheridan to do this map. Several of the mines map are named after a letter that he designed the map after. Okay. What's even going on? Okay, I'm just going to adjust this one slightly so that there is a shrine in the middle of the water here. I'm pretty sure the teleporter will take you to the shrine without complaining. Sorry, we'll put you in the water without complaining is what I meant to say. And that is how we recreate this shape. Just 4 pillars in the corner that will make the same shape once it substitutes in after we do this. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all these sprites because they're not useful anyway, and we're not going to recreate them. I think I'll have this facing south. It's the direction that makes sense to me. Okay. I have an idea to do something really, really rude to the player. I kind of want to like... I kind of want to put like a skeleton out here with potions of cure ailment that he'll throw at the player, which would disable the levitation spell if they have cast it on themselves, which would freaking insta-give the player. But I don't really think it's fair, and so I think I'm not gonna do it. But I just wanted to let you know, precious viewer, that I had the idea. For no other reason than to let you know that I am cruel of mind, but beneficent of spirit. Okay. I do think I will, however, we're gonna get rid of the portal. This is variant D. Okay. File save C. D. Save. Okay. We'll go ahead and put lighting here. I mean, I wanted to make like a channel here that, like, if the player might have a reason to come through and explore, if they can levitate, but which would never spawn a portal or the exit, and so the player would come here purely for the loot. And then there would be like, you know, like a skeleton with a staff here that might ambush you. Like a reason not to come here, I guess is the point. I mean, I could just put arrow traps here. I don't know. Maybe that's the right thing to do, is just put arrow traps here. Because there isn't really much in the way of arrow traps. In the underworld. I mean, they're here, but sorry, what I meant is arrow traps in that are baked into levels that have like a design to them. And so I would put like, you know, and then we, you know, do all this. Okay. So in theory, what happens is anytime the player crosses paths, either on the walkways here, or actually this would be a good spot for scaffolding instead of a walkway. Let's put scaffolding here. Man, it's more work for me, and it doesn't. Is it gonna even look cooler? I'm kind of tempted not to do it just because it's more work. And this is gonna look just fine. My brain is telling me that it will be cooler if I add scaffolding, so I'm going to do it. I don't want map tiles, I want walk tiles. So I just realized that having these items here is going to trigger the traps. But since that's the whole point of this island is these items, then maybe... I don't know. I mean, I could just replace it with gold instead. I don't think gold triggers traps the same way that items do. So let's get rid of the items and just leave gold. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I think that concludes the saga of Underworld 07. That's the 5th variant we've put together. You know, just a little island you teleport onto. You got this pillar here to kind of protect you from being spotted by flying enemies out in the void. You got a bridge leading to a chest. You know, I think on either side of the chest, I'm going to go ahead and... No, it's already enclosed. It's already enclosed in this, like, parentheses-shaped thing, so I don't need any other... Like, I don't think I need anything else. Actually, what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and put a torch right here. So that the chest is, like, more attractive. Like, or it has more, you know, light leading to it. Let's put it on the south wall. Right there, yeah. So we'll save that as 07E. And then now it's off to Underworld 08. Oh, and here we have just a big freaking empty space. You know, makes me wonder if it's even having stuff like this, worth even having stuff like this, because it's literally no gameplay. You know, I mean, it's not literally no gameplay. It is an open space that, you know, because it's empty, you can see across it, you can shoot across it. Let's leave it intact, and just all 4 of the other variants will have land in them, and so that way the majority of the time, 80% of the time, there will be something. Because yeah, this just isn't like, this is called Graveyard. Why is this called Graveyard? This isn't a graveyard. Let's what's this one called? Oh, okay, this one's called Graveyard. I think it's possible that Sheridan stopped naming these as he was going through them or something. Okay, this is Mass Graves, 09. This makes sense to be a graveyard. So I think this one, he must have decided that it was worth it to have like an empty one. And he was going to make a graveyard, but then he was just like, I might as well leave it like this. I think that's fine. Okay, so we're going to make a new... I'm going to go ahead and just call it Underworld Void. Variant A. I'm going to change this one's name to Void, because I don't want it to have the same name as another one. 13 by, so we're going to do 11 by 13. Okay. And then in here, we're just going to simple as pie. As 8, and then that means that this is the variant. This is the void variant. Okay, so this is recreating the original Underworld 08A. All right, now we've got a nice blank slate that we can put really a nice big chunk of gameplay in. I'm pretty excited about. And you know, maybe we can have the void be the theme of a lot of these, as being like, take advantage of this fact that it's a big empty space and really do something with that fact. Graylin Rowe, welcome to the stream. Any thoughts on a light XP nerf? Finding a light book early is just free 40 magic, and you have to spam cast it, which gets annoying, but it's the optional thing to do. You know, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't like dominant strategies that don't make the game more fun. You know, we have talked about calculating skill from sustained spells differently. That would actually be my my preferred solution. Would be to make it so that sustained spells, you know, like when you cast them, it doesn't actually give XP. It's every tick that they're active. Then maybe it might tick your magic skill or something, but it would be very low percentage, or percentage based on how much the drain is or something like that. So, you know, like if you left light on all the time, I think it would be, because it's constantly sapping your mana regeneration, I think it makes sense for it to passively up your skill on every tick. And so that way, like, if you're a warrior and all you can learn is light, and you just keep the light on, I like the idea of that contributing to your magical skill growth. It's a long-term commitment, you know, it kind of screws your stealth a little bit, but it's to me, it seems like a very valid gameplay choice. So that would be kind of my preferred solution. But yeah, it used to be that you could grind all the way up to legend with light, and so yeah, I guess I'm just saying it used to be worse. But yeah, thanks for the comment. I mean, I broadly speaking, I agree with what you're saying. Cheese Lover, what's up, Cheese Lover? Welcome to the stream. You know, I love cheese. Also, I started a cheese club with friends when I was a little kid. We had a newsletter and everything. We were pretty sophisticated. Big fan of Barony? Well, thank you. I'm a big fan of Barony. Appreciate you coming by. Okay, let's... I feel like the teleport shrine belongs on these one of these little islands. That way, interesting stuff... And actually, let's get rid of the pillar on this one. That way, interesting stuff can spawn procedurally on these little, you know, the larger 4x4s. You know, I could make this one a 4x4 as well. I'm kind of partial to that. I could move this whole thing down one. Yeah, let's do that. Nah, I liked it better up here. Yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. So since this is both your first time here on the stream, a little context to what I'm doing is I'm building map variants for the underworld, and we have a new sprite called the Teleport Shrine, which will allow any character to traverse the underworld, not just those with levitation. You know what I think I might do? I think I might go ahead and eliminate this bridge, and then I'll put like a treasure on this last island here. Yeah, I like the underworld. It's kind of cool that it's like a secret place that you can only get to if you have certain abilities to traverse. Like, I'm not principally against that. But at the same time, like, it's a whole tile set that most players never get to do. So. I honestly forget the underworld exists because it's so hard to get into. Yeah. And it's like, I think it's okay that that you don't go to it every run, you know? But it feels like if you don't play as a certain class, you're just not gonna get into it, and that's what I don't like about it. I'd like more runs to have valid. Yeah, I never had levitation. Exactly. Levitation is such a specific ability, and it's one of the more rare ones in the game. So to have it be like required is, I think, not great. So we're changing that to some extent by I think I want to make this a little bigger, and I'll put the pillar, instead of putting it here, I'm going to put it in the middle. Yeah, that seems about right to me. Alright, and we're going to, above the portal, of course, we're going to make the ceiling higher, as we have been doing. Okay, so you start here. We have these invisible floor tiles. I can go across this way, then this way, and then ultimately this way to get this chest. And if I get the ability to have the teleporter actually drop you here first, you'll have to fight your way across all 3 of these islands before you can get to the portal to the next area, which gives it some progression, and I really like that. So, even without any other like manual spawns here, this is already like a pretty dynamic experience. So next thing we got to do is get proper bridge meshes. Let's look for Underworld 01, what, B, C, this is it. Okay. Alright, so, Sprite. This is a bridge mesh that I'm spawning here. It is simply a decorative mesh that doesn't do anything by itself. It's literally just a piece of art. You could walk through it, except for I'm putting it on the floor and then putting an invisible floor in there. So it's the 2 of those things together. It pretends that it is a bridge, effectively. So this needs to face south. There we go. This needs to face north. And we'll just duplicate this here and here. And then lastly, we have this mesh, which is 12. Wait, do I have the right mesh? I have a feeling that I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, when I finally test these are 1180. They're both 1180. That can't be right, because these are 2 different meshes that I need to spawn. I mean, it is true that this one's going to be 12. Here, let's go back to the mines real quick, where I have these already set up. Yeah, let's do like D, E, F, G, H, I, J, B, C, D. What level is this? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Yeah, let's go to a different mind map that's a little more reliable. How about like 27? There we go. B, E. All right, here we have a little bridge. That's reliable. Okay. 1181. The mesh needs to be 8-1 for the middles. There we go. Okay. That was quite the expedition. But we're going to go back to Underworld 01B, C. We're going to change this to 1181. Yeah, because if we didn't, we'd be screwed. First time we tested that, I'd be like, I picked the wrong model. I can't believe I have to go find this map and fix it. Alright, so we got bridges that in the editor don't look like anything at all. this is Underworld 08B. Let's save that. This is variant B. Heck yeah, finally caught a stream. Hey, what's up, Abby? How's it going? Good to see you. I don't know if you saw my ping in the Barony Discord, where we're using your art in the Quality of Death update beta news posts. But it is finally public, and I hope that would please you. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, it's on Steam. It's the Quality of Death beta announcement. If you look at our store page, it's like the most recent announcement. In your library, our hotfix stuff is more recent, but it's also using your art too. It's great. Cheese Lover, are you complimenting Abby's work? Oh, that's great. Yeah. She did an amazing job. Alright, so Void, the second Void variant is like this trek across some islands, which is pretty cool. Proud of yourself for completing it? Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You should be proud of yourself. Okay. Let's go ahead and make an enclosed sort of dungeon space. What's up, Masana Scouts? I gotta say, the new update looks very nice. Love the animations for the rat and slime. Whoever did that needs a raise, lol. Well, thanks for saying so. So I created the voxel animation frames, and those are made very much like traditional pixel art animation is, except for in 3D. And then Sheridan sequenced the different models together, the different models for each frame of the animation. He sequenced them in game. So it turns out that Sheridan and I co-own the company. So, so regarding who deserves or needs a raise, like, you know, I don't know how we give that to ourselves, but I appreciate the kudos. I really do. Yeah, we work hard. We work hard. It's really important to us. Oh, you were in the stream for that. Oh, that cracks me up. Why don't we start this one out by making like a building on this island that like you can come out of. So something like this. And then inside we have the shrine. Something like that. And here and here. This and this. We could do a chest in here. I don't know. It's convenient to leave it. Alright, so what we have so far is a big ol' island. Are you familiar with the minimap and where the color for it is located? You're talking about the Quality of Death beta minimap color. I believe that's hard-coded right now. So currently there's no way to change it if that's what you're looking to do. The minimap looks bad because of your screen contrast, even on max opacity. I'm sorry to hear that. And just to confirm, are you talking about the Quality of Death beta? Or are you talking about the current retail launch version of the game? The new beta. Okay. Not exactly a huge issue. Yeah. Well, it would be. I mean, of course, we would like it if it was suitable for you. Just saw the trailer. Ah! Thanks. Yeah, I worked really hard on that trailer, Evie. Keeping up with the Kickstarter now and then. Yeah. Let's put this over here instead. Actually, the trailer's great. Well, I'm happy to thank you both for saying that. The speedrunning achievements. I haven't even gotten Boots of Blessed Boots of Speed. That achievement's too hard for me. I've gotten to the twins in 45 minutes, but I can't beat them in that with my character being so nerfed by having that little time to level up. The last two you need for 100%. I understand. I can relate. It's not quite the last ones for me. Like, I still haven't earned the achievement that you get for killing a fellow player. Because I'm just not that kind of player. Like, I wouldn't kill my friend for the laughs. That's just not how I roll. And so, like, of all the achievements I don't have, like, one of them is very easy to get, and I just haven't gotten it. Actually, no. I think I've gotten the one to kill another player, but because we've done some PvP, but I haven't done the one to accidentally crush a friend with a boulder. That boulder moved itself. I haven't done that achievement. Let's make this a south-facing chest. Thanks for that. No, I don't think I will, but I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and put a monster in here. I like monsters. Paying a speedrunner to help you get them? Wow, jeez. Motivated. I respect it. Let's go ahead and put this right here. And I'm going to move the... There we go. Something like that. Alright, so we have this island. It's got a yard out front. Open the gate from either side. There's a monster to fight, there's a treasure chest, and then there's the portal. So if I had my druthers, which I've been told that's a word, then you'll appear like you can appear outside in the yard and have to fight your way back inside in order to portal out of this area, which is kind of what I'm going for. Let's go ahead and put like a clearing out in front of the building itself. Well, might as well do it all the way around. I kind of like how it looks better like that. Although let's put some of the slime on the edge here. I don't know what the underworld slime is, but I like it. I'm a fan of it. It disguises traps really well. I can't be the only one that's been screwed over by the slime disguising a trap. Still, new update looks spectacular. Well, thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that, Masona Scouts. Or Mason is cows. That's probably what that is, isn't it? Masona Scouts! Okay. Let's put a torch at the front door. That's what any good citizen would do. We can leave it dark inside. I think that's fine. And then we'll let the outside be random. Variant C, okay. File, save as. Variant C. Just call you Mason, it's easier. If I wasn't swamped with work, I'd make fan art again. Well, that's really kind of you, maybe. I mean, we reached out to you because we really love your fan art, and we're honored to have you work on it. So maybe maybe you'll, I don't know, well, you said you're busy, so I was gonna say maybe you'll be inspired again after you play the Quality of Death update, but it sounds like it's not about inspiration, it's about time, which I respect. As a fellow creative, I know that there's often more passion than there is time, so. Okay, this was a fun little different style of a map here. Let's start variant D. I think I would like to do like multiple rooms that are like that aren't connected to each other. Like so like almost like a multiple building situation. Hope to catch up one of those times you play with the devs. Oh yeah. Yeah, the split screen one would be really fun to watch if you're into that. Did I have a double gate? No, I didn't. I thought I had a double gate there when I deleted them. Okay, so what I'm kind of thinking is something like, let's go ahead and just fill all this in for now. So I can start with a nice blank slate. I'm thinking something like, you know, you have like one building that's like this, another one that's like smaller like this, and then a third one. And so you have to like traverse the exterior to get to them. What's up, lady?
Hi.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. That's my very cool wife. Maybe I could do this. Something like that. And then just to rough it in. Once it's all enclosed, there isn't that much space between the buildings or inside the buildings, so I might go ahead and expand it a little. Yeah, let's go ahead and expand it. Okay, so we'll put the portal here. Facing north. Okay, which means we're gonna do this. And then we'll have a bridge going from here to here and a bridge going from here to here. Which means we're doorways, 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 corners, 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 corners. Pillars, pillars, pillars. You see there's sort of like a clear method to the madness of how I decorate, so that these buildings have sort of like a logic to where the different pillars are. And that's mostly just to break it up visually, like no matter what angle you approach it from, there's always like some diversity in how it looks. And then let's get the walk tiles here just so that we know where we're going. So with just the void here and two bridges, we've created a sequence of explore room 1, 2, 3 in order. Okay, so out in the wild, all you would see is these floating, you know, walls. But if you use the teleporter, or if you levitate in here, then you'll have rooms to explore. Okay, so this leads to in theory, the player's gonna start here, walk across the bridge, find their way, or fight their way through this room maybe, and then end here. Let's make most of these gates. I could put like a... I wish I had buttons. Buttons aren't in the game yet. just put like a regular door right here. And we'll put a lever inside the starting room. And then buttons sound cool, yeah. It's just such a classic dungeon crawler trope that I really want to do it, you know? So, yeah, I mean, like, you could just put them against a wall. Act exactly like a lever, but you can place it on a wall. That'd be very useful for level designers. Okay, so these gates are controlled by the same lever. And because the rooms are closed, that means I can place monsters inside of them. Actually, I need to switch these two. Like that. You could hide some buttons. Yeah, hidden buttons are always fun. Okay. So let's place a monster in here. Actually, let's put like a bookshelf in here. We actually haven't placed any bookshelves in any of these places yet. How's that? So I'm coming down this hallway and I see bookshelves. I mean, is that cool? Kind of cool, I guess. You know, it's whatever. I think I'll put an item on the ground. Put a torch right here. So bookshelf of treasure here. Open the door. You need to use a lever. You have a fight in here. There's an item. Use another lever, and then you've got the portal out. Or or you go the other way, which is basically the same story, and then it ends in a chest, which is cool also. I guess it's cool. Okay, so we need those bridges. Let's go back to what? Underworld 8C? D? Okay, this is the B. This is what we're looking for. And we want this model. It's great to have two instances of the editor open. It really makes my life easier. Facing direction, and we've got a full-on bridge. I kind of want to put like a ghoul, just like right here, just like boom, ghoul. Any other monster that would be more appropriate? Stuck on a bridge on the void. I feel like a ghoul is right. Okay, so we got a ghoul. That means we have two fights baked into this section now, which is, you know, that's kind of what I wanted. Variant D. Okay, we got one more variant here. Let's do like a little puzzle, a puzzle room. Not, you know, not puzzle, you know, it's not gonna be tricky or anything, but you know, a sequence that you have to pay attention to is really more what I'm thinking. Let's leave this off over here for reference, so we don't have to go back to find the model details again. I'm gonna go to attributes, variant E, okay, save as, variant E, save. Why a ghoul? Obviously it should be a minotaur. Why didn't I think of that? Obviously, should be a minotaur. Okay, so. Alright, so I was thinking something like, you know, the player appears on an island in the center, and then like they have to go through multiple rooms before they can unlock the way out, something like that. Let's start giving myself as much space as I can get. Oops, wrong thing. So I mean, I'm a little tempted to put this 2 spaces away. Like, it reduces the amount of room I have to work with. But it also makes it more like visually clear to the player what's going on, so I think I want to put this here. This made sense in my head. Let's start with something more like this. Teleport island be the smallest one, because that makes sense. Now, what I was thinking was like a hub and spoke design. That's really what I wanted. I wanted to have like a central room, and from there, you go off and have misadventures on each island until you can eventually get to the portal. You know, misadventures. So maybe more like a plus shape, rather than a different shape that's not a plus. Let's put boots on the ground here. So if I start on this island, and I have 4 doors that are inaccessible. Actually, we can simplify this a little bit. 1 in each direction. So the objective is a little bit more clear to the player when they start. Do you have drawbridges? Not really. I have portcullises are the closest thing I have to drawbridges. It's a fair question, but answer is kind of no. So if one of these doors is open straight away and the others are portcullises, then that tells the player immediately, I gotta get all the portcullises unlocked in order to go where I want to go. So yeah, we have the classic level design problem of trying to not make something look like a swastika. Which the struggle is real. Doesn't need to be symmetrical. That can help me make it look less like a swastika. Yeah, I feel like I just made it look more like a swastika. I could put... If you ever see something that looks like a swastika in a video game, don't assume that it's on purpose. It's not as straightforward as you might think to make something that has a progression in 4 corners that doesn't end up looking like that. Make the forbidden symbol when you're working with this small... Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's not better. I think I'm gonna do... It's funny, I'm like going through a lot of pains to make sure that I don't make that mistake. I really don't want anybody thinking that I'm putting swastikas in the game for any reason. Actually, we can make this not symmetrical. This up here. Okay, so let's take a look at our handiwork real quick. So over here immediately, we can see that that's where the portal is, and so that gives us a destination. We know we want to get through this gate because that's the only way to get to that island. Let's do something like this. Maybe like this instead. Perfect. Let's actually do this, and then make this be the bridge to this small island, and make this be the bridge to that island. Let's make this one smaller. Okay, now it doesn't look at all like a swastika, which was objective number 1. I think I can actually... maybe it doesn't matter. Alright, so this is going to be the first... island that we go to. We'll have it unlock. In theory, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll just go in descending order. It'll be simpler. Easier for the player to understand too. And then there will be another lever over here. Okay, and then another lever here. All right. And there we have a sequence puzzle. Let's add a little variety to these islands. This one can have a north-facing wall. This one can have an east-facing wall. This one can have maybe no wall. Although we can put like a dirty pillar right here. Alright, so let's go through this process, shall we? 5 bulgers and a minotaur, of course! Why didn't I think of that, Mason? So I got this door, I go across the bridge, I pull the lever, I hear that the door is open. I go in here and I see that of the 3 gates, only this one is open. It's nice to have these gates so close to each other so that it's not, you know, the player's not having to use too much spatial reasoning. And they come out here and then they can immediately pull this lever. I can go ahead and have like an item. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna put another dirty pillar out here. Again, make the player feel a little bit protected. Table with no chairs. We'll put a torch right here. A minotaur is the best way to instantly solve a map-related issue. Not enough stuff? Minotaur. Too many enemies? Minotaur. Too many... Oh, not enough enemies? 2 minotaurs. Too many minotaurs? No such thing. Ain't that the truth? Everyone be agreeing with that. Alright, so you get out on this one, and you end up sort of like saddled with like, okay, I guess I gotta cross this bridge. Something I could do is like, I mean, I could spawn an enemy here. Random monster that matches the level curve. I mean, I could have that just spawn here. So as soon as you pull that lever, it spawns this creature. Why not? Let's see how it plays. Does the level editor only let you make entirely new levels, or can you edit ones in the game and play them in a normal run? Like, say there's one room in the mines I hate. Could I edit and get rid of it? Yes, you could, but the game knows when you're using modified levels. And so if you modify them, that means your achievements won't be valid when you're doing the run. So if you're already done achievement hunting and you don't care so much and you just want to make the game more fun for you, then go ahead, like, modify levels away. But you know, we have to make it so that you can't get achievements, because otherwise somebody would be able to just modify all the levels to be like a room with a treasure chest and all the best gear in it and no enemies, and you would just raffle stomp the game from the very beginning. So there's no way for us to prevent exploits if the player is modifying the game files. So yeah. this a little bit. This is north. I'm gonna go ahead and put like a backup lever right here. That way if the player is on this island, they can get into the main room. Minotaurs every floor, they can't be killed. Sounds like something that should always be enabled, obviously. Obviously, I agree. I would be stupid not to. Okay, so this was variant E. And what else? Oh, I needed to put bridges in here. Okay, so this needs to face east. This needs to face west. This needs, okay, we'll just dupe that here and dupe this here. And then we need this one to face south. And this one to face north. Boom, boom. And then I remember for the moment, is it 81 or 82? I guess I don't remember. Alright, we got 2 long bridges and 1 short bridge. Alright, and I think this level sufficiently does not look like it's supposed to. Especially with the walls breaking up between dark and light pattern. Save as E. Map at your beauty. Gary Busey. I could do another summon trap right here so that when the player opens this door, they have another fight. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll test it. I'll see if it's fun. If it's not, I'll get rid of it. Minotaurs with shopkeeper magic! Your ideas are awful. You should mod them in. I agree. I agree. Be a victim of your own creations before you subject anyone else to them. That's my philosophy when it comes to game design. Let's go ahead and put a light source in this room. Actually, maybe even a campfire. Alright. So, we are on Underworld 09, or 808, which was formerly just a void, literally nothing in it. And so now we have a similarly sized room, but it has like a... What is this null? What is this null? I don't know what these nulls are, and they make me nervous. Do the nulls prevent other things from spawning? I'm gonna ask. Do the null sprites prevent things from spawning? How about... I'm modifying the underworld maps, and I found a map with a bunch of null sprites, and if that's what it does, I could see being very useful for me to guarantee integrity of certain pathways in maps, I think. And I'll go ahead and submit a snip of that. Windows Shift S. Boom. That would be very cool. What's up, Fandomaniac? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so this is a map where we have a room with a bunch of treasure chests in it. And when you go into the room, it activates the ghouls that you just passed by. It makes them so they spawn. That's a cool little trap setup, and so I'm thinking maybe the right thing to do would be to keep the right half of this map and then make variants for the left half. So I'm just kind of considering that. So this is, it's called Graveyard, 13 by 15, so it is the same size. But what is it? I might as well start from what, here to here. So we have 1, 2, and that's the bottom of the map. I like the idea of some challenge existing in this half of the map that then unlocks the room to the treasure chest. That makes just a lot of sense. So I could do just from here to here so that this wall stays intact. I mean, it's tempting for me to just take over this entire rectangle. That gives me a little bit more autonomy and less dependence on what this map always is going to be, you know? In the same way as moving that there makes me not dependent on this wall existing here. I think I'm gonna do that. Like, it's a little greedy, but it'll give me more autonomy, and I think that will make the levels better. So I'm gonna take it. So that is 0 to 13 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 13 by 7 is what we're rolling with. Or 7 by 13, I should say. And we're going to call it Graveyard Variant A. And the first one's going to be just a recreation of what Sheridan has done. Create. Okay. There is a way that I could do some copy pasting, but it would be a little bit convoluted in terms of loading and resaving and all that. And so I don't want to bother, so I'm just doing it this way. It might seem a little silly to an onlooker to watch me do this manually, but it's less juggling. It allows me to stay focused on the one task that I'm currently engaged in. Oh man, I have a lot of really bad ideas I want to add. I can't wait for this version of the game to be fully released so I can complain to one of my friends to help you. So you're gonna like make something that's like so impossible and kind of like just like not reasonable in terms of difficulty to play. Oh, do I? 0 to 13. I might need to make this one tile longer. Or I could choose not to replace. I think I'm gonna make it 1 tile longer because this is 15 high. Okay. I'll make this 14 high. I will leave that top intact. Which means I'm moving all this down 1 tile. Yeah, I can't copy from this window to this window. I could copy if I loaded this file and copied and then loaded the other file, then I could do that. But again, it's like a lot of back and forth that I want to avoid. Okay. More like I have a lot of funky ideas, too many for just myself. Oh, I see. So somebody do the work. I thought you meant somebody to co-op through your impossible plans. Yeah, that comes later. Yeah, makes sense. So it's just 6. We got another torch. Okay, this thing is so dense with sprites, I'm probably not going to get much information out of wandering around it. Yeah, it's just very dense, very difficult to see what's going on. And we currently don't have a way to turn off sprites when in first-person mode, but that's okay. First-person mode's kind of a testing luxury that I'm not going to whine too much about. So now that we've recreated this, bottom, but this does. Okay. So it means all the way up to the top, but not all the way to the bottom. Okay. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I need to replace. So if you haven't deduced it already, using these map tiles is what determines the size of the submaps that can replace this. It just basically tells the game what part of the map is transient, is not going to stick around. But I repeat myself, because that's what that means. And if I get my sizes wrong, then that, yeah, this is 14 tiles, and then because it's 0 to 13, 0 isn't normally something you count, and so that's 14 tiles. means I can't modify this little chunk. This will always be a void. That's kind of unfortunate, but because I can't. This has to be rectangular. I can't. Oh look, I'm glad I did this because I can't. I didn't see that there's actually less space here. Okay. And when I turn that, here, let's look at the floor. Oh, we already replaced it. Okay. Man, it is tempting to push this all the way to the bottom. But I'm not gonna. It's just that with its current placement, this means that this door will always lead to a void, and it will never, ever not lead to a void. But if I push this to the bottom, then occasionally, rarely, the door could come from somewhere else other than the void. And that's a little tempting to me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this one tile larger. And I can leave it the void if I want, or I can make my own destiny. One thing I have to do on this map, actually, now that I think about it, is I have to put the teleporter in here. The teleport shrine has to be in here somewhere. Because this is a big enough area that could... Exit could spawn here. Although actually with all these null spaces, the exit could potentially not spawn here. Let's go ahead and leave it as it is at the moment. This is 9A. 9A. Let's open 08. Oh yeah, that was our void. 9 and 10. Okay, is the other one. And there's all these nulls. Man, this makes me wonder. Editor help. Sprite window. Okay, I was wondering if maybe I just missed some. Yeah, this one has all these nulls in it, and that tells me that the nulls deliberately cause things to not spawn. And that would make a lot of sense. I feel a little silly that I didn't know that until now. It's possible that Sheridan told me that like 5 years ago. I truly wonder what a very difficult version of this game would be like, where even if you're very good, you'll run into issues. Hardcore, except for everything. So you're saying other things besides just health and damage. Yeah. Cancel. Okay. This is variant A, save as. Underworld 09A. Save. Okay. I think it's a good time for me to call it a stream. I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. It's kind of like it's dinner time, my time. And I just, got a new map ready to create variants. And so you know, like the future is now. Like there's something for me to look forward to next time I stream, and so I think I might just want to call it. Quick measurement here: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's correct. So if when I go to recreate this map, as long as something in this area attaches power to that lightning bolt, that will be a valid solution to the puzzle. So whatever puzzle I create, as long as the last item in the puzzle sends power to that lightning bolt, it'll unlock. Now I'll just have to think that through. What's up, Siesta? Welcome to the Sneak Stream, home of the Sneak Stream. Can I take your order? That's a Good Burger reference. Hey, Siesta, I see you just, you just tuned in, but I was just about to head out. So, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. It's been a fun stream. Got a lot of good Underworld levels under my belt. And, maybe I'll do some more Underworld level design streaming tomorrow, depending on what else I got going on. I'm still looking forward to a new Switch build to test on, so I might do some playtesting on the Nintendo Switch in the next few days. But otherwise, I'll be continuing Underworld level design. So thanks again for your attention, and I hope you all have a fantastic freaking Wednesday evening. Cheers. Holler at your boy.